Just start getting cozy, some nice deep breaths. I'm going to mute everybody. All right. So as you're taking your nice deep breaths, starting at the top of your head and your neck, just bring your awareness to your neck, shoulders, and head. Notice how they feel today. Bring your awareness to the back of you, to your shoulders now, your shoulder blades, and just notice how they're sitting on the floor, and if one side feels heavier than the other. And then moving from your shoulder blades down through your back into your mid and low back. And taking another nice deep breath here. Noticing how your back feels today. And then moving into your pelvis and your low abdomen. And notice how you're feeling here today. If you feel even, if maybe one side feels heavier or lighter than the other side. And now bring your awareness to your legs and your knees. And notice not only how your legs and knees are feeling today, but how they are on the floor. And how they feel on the floor. Are they turned out slightly? Do you feel like you're laying with your legs quite straight? And moving from your knees, down your legs and into your ankles and your feet and your toes. And just noticing what you notice. Good, and we're going to start with our flattens and tilts again today. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet to flat on the floor. And leaving your arms nice and long beside you, we're going to add the arms in today with our flatten and tilts, but we'll just be rolling them in and out. So we're going to start with our flattens, so staying relaxed, doing a nice inhale first. And as you inhale, rolling your arms inwards towards your body so the back of your hands are against your body as you flatten your back to the floor, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other so your abdomen is tight and your shoulders are squeezed gently towards each other in front of you. Hold for just a moment, and now super slow and smooth, begin to release the contraction in your shoulders and slowly begin to release the contraction in your belly. And at the end of that release, you're going to go right into your tilt. Inhale and tilting your hips forward, rolling your tailbone forward to the floor. At the same time, now let your arms roll open so that your palms are facing up to the ceiling, which will just gently press your shoulder blades into the floor. Hold for a moment. And now exhale, super slowly releasing the contraction in your pelvis and in your back. And slowly releasing in your shoulders as you begin to let the hands roll back over to palms facing down. And at the very end of that release, going into flatten again, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other and rolling your arms in towards your body, flattening your back to the floor, squeezing in your chest gently. Hold for a moment and super slowly release. Slowly unrolling your shoulders, slowly with control, releasing in your abdominals. And at the end of that release, going into tilt again. Inhale and tilt, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor, rolling your arms open so that your palms are facing up, holding for just a moment, and super slowly now exhale as you slowly release the contraction in your hips and back, slowly releasing in your shoulders as you slowly roll your arms back over to palms facing down. And when your palms are down, going right into flatten again. Bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, flattening your back to the floor and rolling your arms inwards now towards your body, squeezing in your chest just gently. Holding for just a moment and super slowly releasing. Slow and smooth. And at the end of that release, going into tilt one more time, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor, rolling your arms so that your palms are facing up to the ceiling. And go ahead and tilt your head back on this one too now. Hold for just a moment and slowly begin to release. Slowly releasing in your hips and back, and slowly releasing in your shoulders and neck. As you begin to roll your arms back over to palms down. And then going into flatten one more time. Bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other as you flatten your back to the floor and rolling your arms inwards towards your body. Holding for just a moment. And now super, super slow and smooth. Release those contractions and come back to your rested neutral position. Really paying attention to any bumpy, glitchy movement that's happening as you're trying to do this release, really working to smooth it out. And when you've finished releasing, take just a moment to rest. And now we're going to go ahead and lay our legs long. And you're going to keep your arms where they are beside you. And we're going to start with an invert and lift with our right leg. So what you're going to be doing is, I want you to think of turning your right foot so that the sole of your right foot is going to turn inwards towards your left leg. So you're kind of turning your your right leg out a little bit as you bring that foot in. And now as that foot is turning in towards your body, I want you to think of kind of scooping it upwards towards your knee. And then it will be, if you can do this comfortably, let your foot rest on your left leg just below your knee. Now from that movement, now you're going to bring your foot back down to its starting position. So now slowly with control, slide your foot along your leg and back down onto the floor. And then rest. Now we're going to try that again. And this time, as you're scooping that foot inwards, think of scooping it in and up, but just a little bit. It's not going to lift way up. It's going to just lift maybe a foot at the most off of the floor. So turning that right foot again, so the sole of your foot is facing your left leg, thinking of doing sort of a mini scoop with your foot as you bring it up towards your knee of your left foot. And then super slow and smooth, taking it back down again. Letting it go along that left leg and back to the floor. And then rest. And then that same movement one more time. So turning the right sole of your foot towards your left and thinking of scooping it just gently upwards as you bring your foot up towards your left knee. And then nice and slow and smooth, taking it back down again. Drawing it along your leg, nice and slow. And then make sure to rest. Now we're going to do that same movement with the left foot. So your left foot now, you're going to be turning the sole of your left foot towards your right leg as you gently bring that left foot in a slight scooping motion up towards your right knee. And then nice and slow, taking it back down again. And make sure to rest. And we'll repeat that same movement again, turning the left foot, the sole of your left foot towards your right leg as you do a small little scooping motion with that left foot, bringing it now up towards your knee, towards the right knee. Remember to stay in your comfort zone and only go as far as you can go comfortably. And then nice and slow and smooth, moving that foot back down again to its long, lengthened, neutral position. Make sure to rest. And we'll repeat that one again. Scooping now your left foot, turning it inwards towards your right as you do a slight scooping motion with your foot and bringing it up towards your right knee. And then nice and slow and smooth, taking it back down again. Once your leg is long, take just a moment to rest again. The next movement we'll be doing is the clam. So to do the clam movement, we're going to be bringing the soles of both of your feet together as you draw your feet up towards your buttocks and your knees will be out to the sides. Only drawing the feet up as far as you can comfortably. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, then slowly sliding your feet along the floor again. Slow and smooth until your legs are back to their long neutral position. And rest. We'll repeat that one again, turning your feet in towards each other, knees opening to the side gently as you draw your feet along the floor up towards your buttocks. And then super slow, sliding them along the floor, taking them back to their long, neutral rested position. Make sure to rest. And we'll do that one more time. Turning the feet in towards each other and drawing your feet along the floor up towards your buttocks as your knees are open gently to the sides. Remembering to stay in your comfort zone. When you've gone as far as you can comfortably, then slowly reverse the movement by drawing your feet now along the floor and back to their neutral rested position. And make sure to rest. So the next movement we're going to be doing is the knock-knee position, which is basically the opposite of the clam. So your feet are going to turn outwards now. Your knees will be coming together as you draw your feet up beside you. So each foot is sort of going towards your armpit. Yes. And when you've gone as far as you can comfortably, sliding the feet back down again to legs long. And make sure to rest. And repeat that one more time. Turning the feet outwards. Knees are coming together as you slide your feet up towards your buttocks, but on the outside of your body, so more to your hips or your armpits. And when you've gone as far as you can comfortably, and slowly sliding those feet again along the floor, back to their lengthened position. And make sure to rest. And one more time, same one, turning the feet outwards from each other, knees coming together as you slide your feet along the floor, upwards towards your armpits. And then super slow and smooth, sliding them back down. Now at the end of this one, when you finish sliding your legs back down to long, you're going to turn your feet inwards and slide your feet and take yourself back into the clam position now. So feet turning in, the knees are going out as you slide your feet up towards your buttocks. Only going as far as you can comfortably, and then nice and slow, sliding your feet along the floor again, back to legs long. And when you're back at legs long, you're going to go back into your knock-knee position, turning the feet outwards from each other now and sliding the feet up as your knees come together. And then pause and slowly reverse again, slowly taking the feet back down to legs long. Turning your feet inwards and sliding your feet back up into clam position again. And nice and slow, we're going to switch it one more time. So sliding the feet back down to long again. And then turning the feet outwards. Bring the knees together and sliding your feet back up. So you're back in your knock-knee position. And then nice and slow, straightening your legs one more time. Good, and take just a moment to rest. The next one we're going to be doing is the skiing exercise. So for this one, you're going to be sliding both of your feet will stay together, and you're going to think of sliding both of your feet up along the floor towards your left armpit as your right knees, or your knees will be going to the right. So your knees are going to bend together to the right as you bring your feet up towards your left armpit along the floor. Then you're going to slowly begin to straighten your legs again. And once they're straight, then you're going to reverse that movement to the other side. So then your knees will be going to the left as your feet slide up towards the right. And then nice and slow, switching again. So your knees are turned slightly to the side. I think, Deanne, I don't know if you can see the screen, but it looks like maybe you could tilt your knees a little more as you're doing this one, but I can't quite see all of your legs, so I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. And then slowly sliding your feet again along the floor, back to legs straight. And in your own time, go ahead and switch that and do 2 more to each side. So slowly bringing the feet up now to the left as your knees go to the right. And then switching again. And then 1 more to each side. Taking your time, making sure to keep the movement nice and smooth. And when you've finished doing one more to each side, take a moment to rest. Good, next we're gonna do just a little bit of wash rag before we move on to the next one. So you're gonna go ahead and bend your knees now, bring your feet to standing flat on the floor, and take your arms out straight beside you, so straight out from your shoulders. And we'll start by rotating our right arm up and our knees will be drifting to the left. So let's all start together with a nice deep inhale. And as you begin to inhale, rolling the right palm up, turning your head to the right, and slowly begin to let your knees drift down to the left. And your left palm will be down to the floor. Left palm down, right palm up, looking towards the right. Remember to stay in your comfort zone. And then nice and slow, reversing this movement. Slowly rolling the right arm over, slowly rolling your head to the left, right or left palm begins to roll upwards as your knees begin to drift to the right. And then nice and slow, reversing again. Slowly rolling the left palm down, slowly rolling your head to the right as your right palm rolls upwards, and slowly bringing your knees to the left. When you've gone as far as you can comfortably, switching again. Slowly taking the knees to the right as you slowly roll the right palm down, the left palm begins to roll upwards and your head is turning now to the left. When you've gone as far as you can comfortably, switching again. Nice and slow. Rolling the left palm down as the right palm rolls upwards. Knees are slowly drifting to the left now. Now at your own pace, I'd like you to do one more on each side. And as you're doing these, I want you just to really bring your awareness to the lengthening that's happening in your back as you're doing this movement. One of the words that some of us somatic nerds like to use for this one is we find this movement to be really delicious. Once you've done it a few times, you just, I don't know, it's just a really great one. So staying focused on the slow smoothness of your movement. And when you've finished one more to each side, take a moment to rest in your center rested position. Good, and next we're gonna do just a little bit of hip hiking, and we're gonna do this today with our knees staying in our bent position. So your arms can be wherever you want them to be, wherever you feel nice and relaxed. And what we're gonna do is, I would like you to think of pressing into your right foot and pressing the right knee away from your body. And as you're pressing that right knee away from you, you'll be bringing the left knee towards you. Your feet are going to stay on the floor. What this movement is moving in your pelvis and in your hips. So as you press the right knee away from you, you should notice that your left hemipelvis comes upwards towards your left armpit a little bit. Yes. I'm looking at Natalka right now, everybody, and yes, she just did it. Oh, except keep your knees straight up, Natalka. So you're pressing it like away from you, like towards your toes. And then slowly you're gonna release that little bit of contraction on your left side and switch. So now you're gonna be pressing your left knee away from you, your right knee towards you. This is a really small movement, and where you should feel it is in your side. The side of your hip should be coming upwards. So as you're pressing the left leg away, the right hip should be slightly contracted now. And then slowly release that right hip. So you're slowly releasing the right knee. And then switching again. So right knee pressing away from you as your left hip comes up just slightly towards your left armpit. Hold for a moment. And super slowly releasing now. Slowly releasing on the left side. And now just rest for a minute in your neutral position. And we're going to try that same one with our legs long. And at the end of class, we'll see if maybe you noticed if one was easier for you or not. So go ahead and lay your legs long. And to do our hip hiking with our legs long, most of you, I think, have done this one before as well. We're going to point the right toe down to the floor as you bring your left toes up towards your face. And when you're bringing those left toes up to your face, you'll notice your left hip should be coming up slightly towards your left armpit. So you're just kind of hiking that left hip upwards towards your armpit. And then nice and slow now reversing that movement. So slowly releasing your left hip, slowly begin to lower your left foot as it slowly begins to point down to the floor. Your right foot now is slowly coming upwards towards your face, and your right hip is now coming up slightly to the right armpit. Hold it for just a moment, and then super slowly reversing again. So slowly releasing that right hip. Nice and slow and smooth. Letting the right hip come down. The right toe begins to point as the left toe now begins to flex. And your left hip comes up gently to the left armpit. And hold it for just a moment, and then nice and slow switching again. So slowly releasing the left hip, slowly pointing the left toe down to the floor as the right toe begins to come up to your face. The right hip begins to come up towards the right armpit. Holding for just a moment, and now super slowly releasing, slowly letting that right hip release. Right toe begins to point down to the floor now as the left toe begins to come up towards your face. And the left hip hikes just gently up towards the left armpit. And now nice and slow, go ahead and release that left side. Switch one more time, bringing the right hip up again. Right toe towards your face, left toe pointing down. And then nice and slow, releasing the right hip. And when you've finished releasing the right hip, take a moment to rest in your neutral position. And then go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet to standing flat. And we're going to finish with some arch and curls. Remember, for our arch and curls, you do not have to have your hands behind your head. If you have pain in your shoulders, please don't do it. Don't ever force a movement. So if you can't bring your hands behind your head, you can leave them laying long, or you can put your hands on your shoulders in front of your body. And if you are comfortable to bring them behind your head, then go ahead and do that. And we're going to start with a nice deep inhale, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor. And at the same time now pressing your shoulder blades gently to the floor and thinking of drawing them towards your tailbone. And tilt your head back, hold for just a moment. And now exhale as you super slowly release the contraction in your back. Slowly releasing in your shoulders and neck. And at the very end of that release, going right into flatten, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, bring your elbows together, and now lift your head and chest into your soft curled position. Hold for a moment, and now super slowly lowering your head and really focusing on your abdominals as you slowly lower that head. Slow and smooth. And once your head is resting on the floor, then slowly opening your elbows. And when you finish that one, take a moment to rest, and we'll repeat again. Inhale and arch, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor, pressing your shoulder blades down and thinking of drawing them towards your tailbone. Tilting your head back, holding for a moment, and now exhale, super slowly releasing the contraction in your back, in your pelvis, in your shoulders and neck, as slow and smooth as you can, and then going right into flatten, bringing your pubic bone and ribs towards each other, flattening your back to the floor, bring your elbows together and gently lift your head and chest. Holding for just a moment, and then nice and slow, lowering your head, slowly with control. And once your head is resting on the floor, slowly opening your elbows. Taking a moment to rest when you've finished. And if your name is Courtney and you have another call to get to, you're going to get up nice and slow. That didn't look slow, Courtney. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Everybody else, we're going to repeat that one again. Inhale and arch, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor at the same time, pressing your shoulder blades down and tilting your head back. Exhale now as you super slowly release the contraction in your back. As slow and smooth as you can. And at the end of that release, going right into flatten, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, bring your elbows together, and lifting your head and chest. Holding for a moment, and then super slowly lowering your head. Slow and smooth as you can. And when your head is resting on the floor, then slowly opening your elbows. Good. And when you finish that one, take a moment to rest. And then nice and slow, you're going to bring your arms back down beside your body and lay your legs long in whatever position you were in for our body scan at the beginning of class today. You're going to go back into that position. And taking some nice deep breaths. And first, just notice as you're just laying here relaxed, how you feel now compared to how you felt when we started today. And bring your awareness to your head, neck, and shoulders. And notice how your shoulder blades feel now on the floor compared to how they felt when we started. And moving down to your low and mid back. Noticing how much more relaxed your low back should be feeling now compared to when we started. And moving into your hips and your low belly. And now moving into your legs and your knees. And all the way down to your feet and your toes. And when you're ready, nice and slow, you can roll to your side and come up to sitting. And we have just a couple minutes left for some questions.